Well, hello and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're a newbie. To those of you of my amazing community, a huge apology for the delay. I can only apologize. I have just lost my mojo with video editing a little bit lately, but we're back, we're getting on with it, and we've got a lesson with Simon, so there's some catching up to do. But we are heading back to the time right now where Donut had his first ever lesson with Simon. Unfortunately, I don't think my receiver was quite plugged in properly to the camera this day, so you're going to get a lot of voiceover, but I'll give you the vibe of what was going on. Obviously, this is me filling Simon in on Donny, my amazing 1 pound pony, and how when he was 9, he hadn't really done anything, and now he's 12 years old. He's obviously completed a 2-star last year, not done a huge amount this year, and my goals and aspirations for him, which are very exciting for next year. But basically the plan is for this winter for us to go a bit back to basics and really make sure that we've got everything we need and that we get Donny really strong, ready to progress for the future. So without further ado, I'm going to let the lesson go. We are not going to just do this lesson. We're going to do future Donut lessons as well. And you can see whether you think that he's progressed as time goes on.
Yeah. And he's a bit of a wild child.
Are you a wild child? Whoa, what the heck was it?
So Simon started off with this exercise, which was a perfect exercise to show off just how rusty Donut and I were and not good at even straight at trotting over poles. Now, Donut is particularly spooky in indoor arenas, but you can also see how rusty he is. And I was trying my best, but we were really struggling with straightness, and he was sort of wiggling in and out of his shoulder. So it was great just to keep repeating it. What you're going to hear in a minute is how forward he was as well. I mean, we can always count on Donut to make us laugh, particularly Mum. She absolutely adores him. I mean, we all adore him, but she sees Donut as her horse, which I keep reminding her that he's mine. He's nobody else's. He's mine forever and ever and ever and ever. But if Mum wants to adopt him, that's okay too, because she's a good egg. Anyway, you can see we're kind of improving here. It's getting a little bit better. Still a little bit wiggly, still a little bit spooky, but just very consistently like, come on, let's just canter and try and canter slowly. And it's really great to be having a lesson with Simon because he's really disciplined about it. Sometimes I'm just like, come on, slow down, and then they don't slow down, and I'm just like, oh, okay, because I quite like going fast. So Simon making me go slow is really useful. The getaway is still atrocious, but what you can't quite appreciate is just how close the getaway is to the fence line. And when you're on a more balanced horse, it's much easier to ride square a turn, because when Donny's not been schooling and stuff, he's the wiggliest of worms in the world. But anyway, the progression then was we switched ends, and Simon popped everything up as just little bounce uprights, and you can see Donut coming through here. He was actually really nimble and really good about it. Bit like Teddy, the moment that the poles weren't poles on the floor, he was actually a lot better about it. And you can see I was getting a bit better about my turn, even if it was just I had to slow Donut down rather than letting him sort of scoot around the turn as such. But, you know, this is a very raw process. Yes, I've ridden Donut to the highest level I've ever competed at, but he's not done a huge amount over the last year. And yeah, I've whipped him around a couple of BE100s, but it was literally just to perk him up because he was miserable, and I think he thought that he'd been retired rather than actually just allowing him to recover. That was to perk him up. He's now doing so much better and building up so much more strength, but we now need to make sure that we're correct in our schooling, and I'm so grateful to have Simon's support in doing so.
Very often losing all out the front. And so it's fine to have that amount of energy, but we need to have them connected for them to be able to do the job properly. Yeah, cool, good. Go for it.
So the conversation you're getting a snippet of there is that Donut's energy is great. Simon really loved how much energy he had, but that I'm losing the power out the front end. And it's, as he was describing it, was a bit of a harem scarum on the way into the fence, and we don't have the connection that we're wanting. Now, what I was feeling was without pulling his face off as such, I didn't feel like I had much more in the tank to be able to ask him to steady up. So I had him in a 3-ring bit in order to be correct. I had the roundings on it, but for the purpose of today, I decided just to stick my reins on the bottom ring in order to see if that would just help me out with a little bit more control and see how we go. We've never really played that much with Donut's bitting. We've just sort of stuck him into that, and it was a bit stronger than his snaffle, and it kind of left it at that. I don't really like faffing about with bitting, to be quite honest, and tack and the likes. You'll see that my tack setup is very simple. It's saddle, bridle. Donut's my only one that goes in a grackle. It is on very loose. It's just there enough to stop him crossing his jaw if he really does set sail. But he's quite a strong boy, so like I say, he's in a fairly plain mouthpiece but 3-ring bit, and we were just trying that, and I did feel like I had a little bit more control. Anyway, on to the exercise that we're doing. As you can see, Simon's added in the fillers to add a skinny in the middle, which I really felt focused Donut a lot more, and I found it really, really beneficial. And you can actually see the progression throughout the session from where he went super duper wiggly to then a lot straighter. And then Simon was super mean and he took away the extra filler, and I just had the one, which I told him I didn't know whether we'd be any good at that, but Donut really pleasantly surprised me.
It's on its own. So just take steady, steady. It's all about rideability. Level, level. Good boy. Very good. Brilliant. Well done. And again, work the neck a little bit. Breathe yourself. Take your time. Steady. Very good. I like that there, yeah? Keep it as relaxed as that through the turn. Think bend, think flex, keep level. Level. Good girl. Very good, Evie. Well done. That's super. Okay, you're living.
So then we progressed on to jumping a few course fences. But what was really interesting is Donut went so incredibly spooky. It was really interesting. So I was trying hard to make sure I worked him to be soft, which actually is really quite strong and quite stubborn in the contact. And then he set sail towards the fence. So it's all a work in progress. And I think it's nice that you're going to get to see some of the progress all in one video. But yeah, he went very, very spooky and not very himself. He wasn't really coming off the ground that much because he was being so spooky. So Simon just had us jumping the same few fences until he simmered down and was a little bit more settled and normal. And you can see the progression. The thing that I'm universally finding hard, and I have struggled with this for a very long time, and it is something that I'm continuously working on, is finding the balance of like soft and steady, but with power, ready to get down to the fence. And I find that hard. I can ride down to a fence quite quickly and we have a lot of power, but it's all like heading here, there and everywhere because we're like gunning it. Or I often then swing too far on the other side of the scale where I kill the power too much. And I find that real fine balance. I feel like it's almost like learning how to ride a horse into a contact and through and supple and properly through that back for the first time. Nobody can like say, there you go, you got it. Some people have it fairly naturally with Beth, like I hate you people, because every single thing I've had to learn, I don't mean that by the way, but every single thing with that sort of thing something I've had to really learn it and really work at it. But once you get it, I'm imagining, once you get it, you don't forget it, like learning to ride a bike. So it's definitely something to work on, to improve, to get better at, and we will get there one day. But until then, I shall keep trying very, very hard.
Not the easiest at all, but what I like about what you did just there, he screwed up the first one, and you can't screw up the second one, and the second time going down those two. But you just kept on being consistent, and that's the most important thing. Not rising to it, not being cross with it, being silly, because he's genuinely also not that happy about it, and he's not quite sure about it. So the more you can make it so it's a nice experience for him, the better it's going to be. Good boy, and lots of reassurance, but he does do it right, he's doing the right thing. Shall we come, and how fit is he?
He's quite fit.
He's fit enough.
Been around a couple of events, he just doesn't like it when it's warm. Which I know it's not really today.
And he doesn't like it when he's unsure, does he?
No.
Yeah, well, so I don't think I want to do too much more. Sorry. But what we will do is we'll come down and do my double to my black. Okay? Keep the end, keep the rhythm, keep the end, keep the rhythm. Good girl. Well done. Straight round back again. Then working your body, a little shoulder in down. That's good energy, but it's getting a bit quick. Energy super, but not that fit.
Okay, and this is a lovely natural break for day 2 of lessons with Simon Greaves. So at the end of my lesson, this lady turned up with this amazing cake that Simon had ordered for his team because the money went to charity, I believe. So we're on to a new day. It was an evening lesson, you may be able to tell with how dark it was outside, and the microphones were working. So I'll let you have a listen and see if you think Donut had made some progress after me doing more work, more homework, and into a new lesson. Okay.
The same thing, thinking about that shoulder in feel as you're going around. So having her into that outside rein.
Okay. So last time you saw Donut, since last time you saw him, he's jumped two more. No, don't worry. No, he'll respond to anything. He's done 2 more show jumping rounds very nicely.
Oh, good.
And just had a pole, which for him is very pleased with. So something I discussed with Simon and we tried was actually changing Donut's bit because I haven't done any sort of playing about with that. So we just went to plain Waterford, and I've got the Fulmer cheeks on as well, which you usually see on young horses, or some people call them full cheeks. They're very good just for sort of steering and directing the horse's face just a tiny bit, and I kind of liked the security from them, and especially as a Waterford it has lots and lots of joints in it, so horses can't set against you as much. So it was kind of nice to have the secure, definite feel down the reins with the fixed cheek of the bit, with it being on a full cheek or a full mare, depending on how you describe it. But then also sort of being able to not feel like Donut just grabbed the bit and ran with it. But yeah, I felt it much better. It's still not perfect because you can't just change tack and everything changes and goes perfectly because a magic bit. You never expect that. But it's giving me the opportunity to help Donut get out of the habit of just sort of setting sail down to a fence without it being too strong, because I'm always quite cautious of something going in and being way too strong, because then I just don't think it's very nice for the horses, to be quite honest. So yeah, I do like this bit, and I feel like it's making a difference. How long it'll last, I don't know, because I do put much more stock on training than purely equipment.
In some ways he looks very straightforward, and in other ways he's really not. And I'd like to be able to kind of weigh it up for myself a little bit.
He's very,
to help.
My assessment would be that he's very straightforward in that he's always willing to try.
Yes.
And he's not, because sometimes he just goes, bleh.
Yeah.
You've got to try and deal with whatever suddenly happens, but no.
Lovely rhythm, good.
Ooh.
Whoa, 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 that's it. Oh, very good. Good boy.
Good boy.
Go large, good boy, excellent. Good girl, once off the right rein as well.
Good boy.
Lovely and confident there, well done. Just think about the connection as you come around that turn. We want to be riding forward through the turn to a contact. 1, 2, oh, rhythm. Good girl, well done.
Good boy. He says, that's fun.
Yeah, he liked that, didn't he?
Good boy, yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to come and we're going to do some angles. So we're going to come around on the left rein, around your black and white upright there, to this oxer on the angle, going towards that corner.
Yep.
Then round to the right, then across the diagonal again, through and over your oxer, going across the angle down here. So, and I want you to just imagine, so having the skinnies on either side of this oxer have meant that you've jumped this really very straight.
Yeah.
I mean, you might look back and say not, but it's, from where I've been standing, it looks very good.
It wasn't bad, yeah.
So I want you to be imagining that you've got 2 flags, or even a skinny, there,
Yeah.
2 flags there, 2 flags there, 2 flags there,
Okay,
that you're going through before and after.
Okay.
So we can really focus on keeping it, so even though we're on the angle, we're on an absolute dead straight line. Okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
And again, eyesight is a really big factor in that.
Okay.
So make sure you're looking, you line up those 2 imaginary points and ride to them.
Okay.
Okay?
Brilliant. You're a good boy. Ooh.
And it doesn't need to be crazy. Good girl, well done. Well done for making it happen.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
He wasn't quite sure, was he? So this is where you need to be leg to hand, show him exactly where he's got to go. Straight. Well corrected. Let's keep going. We'll do those again.
Ooh. Good boy.
Good girl. Contact. Rhythm. Rhythm. He says, I'm thundering down there. Think about that lower leg. Just make sure it stays underneath you. There, it's just coming back a little. And then therefore your body's going a bit too far forward. Keep those shoulders up. Keep your leg underneath you. Straight. Good girl. Get in there, yeah? Okay, have a breather for a second. Through the turn. Inside bend, inside flexion. Whoa. Good girl, well done.
Good boy.
Rebalance. That's it, excellent. Big pats, good lad. Good girl, well done. Okay, so interesting, wasn't it there? So we were a bit, talk me through that.
Fell on her inside shoulder on the way to the first one.
Yeah.
Then sort of jumped out and had to steer back and then make up the distance.
Yeah.
And then wasn't on a bad line, but because we've made up the distance, I had to whoa down
Yeah.
to the last.
Yeah, and I feel like we didn't quite have the right canter on the approach to
Yeah.
your black, and we weren't on the correct trajectory quite. So you had to
Yeah.
work really hard between those two to get down there on the 5.
Yeah.
And which made this a little bit short.
yeah.
So just being mindful about making sure that you stay in a consistent rhythm.
Yes.
Yeah, level, consistent all the way.
Yeah.
Should we do that again?
Yes, definitely. Good boy.
Good boy.
Oh, good boy. Bigger canter now, but more inside
So
bend.
bit more now, so then you can ride the rhythm a bit better. Now body up. Whoa, 1, 2, 4. Good. So we had a very similar thing happen there, yeah?
Yeah.
But actually, I thought it was better because I thought you actually got the balance back after the pink a lot quicker.
Yeah, what I'm finding at the minute is I'm coming off the corner and he goes, there's the jump, and like,
Yeah.
and it's not a surfboard anymore, which is great. Like, he's not going with his head vertical in the air
Yes.
and like that,
Yeah.
which is lovely, but it'd just be nice to round a corner and just, which,
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice to come around the corner and have him soft.
Yeah.
At the moment, he doesn't do that.
No,
yeah,
not
he,
yet.
He just comes against you a little bit. But actually, even since the last saw you, it seems better.
yeah, definitely.
Like I think you got him a little bit in a better. You got him in a better balance, but you've got control.
Yes. Yeah.
But control without him feeling like he's the not. I think you need to have it with him that he does believe that he's in control.
yeah.
You know, because he's quite a lad, isn't he? He's like, yeah, this is cool. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but
And
he will
if
be
you
told.
were to just go, no, I've got you.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. This bit's good because it can be. Oh, hang on, I'm here.
Yeah.
Just listen to me a bit. But you are your own man, so you're fine. Kind
Yeah.
of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Probably, yeah. In my head, I feel like out of all of mine, he's the one who'll do as he's told the most. But then
Yeah.
I guess I probably am not the dictator that goes, you will really do as you're told.
yeah.
So, but I do feel like I manhandle him the most.
Yes.
As such, you sort of get in there and say stuff. But yeah, I hadn't really thought about it. I bet he would get quite upset. He can get upset. Yeah. Yeah, I think he would. Never tried it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. And to be fair, like obviously we can definitely improve a lot of his technique and the rhythm and make it all a lot better, but working with a bit of trust with him pays off.
Yes.
Because he will always try to do right by you.
Yeah. Because he's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
Right. Let's come. You're sorry. He's gonna try.
Even if I'm a little bit scared.
Line.
Yeah.
Yellow for upright for orange.
Cool.
Orange.
Orange. Donuts colour.
Go.
That was a bit better.
That was beautiful.
Yee-hee.
Well done.
Good
That was
boy.
super, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You've got this line sus for both of them.
Yeah. Easier that way.
Yeah, that was really nice. Yeah, and I think it does help a bit having something a little bit bigger. Like, you know, just, I mean, it's not big, but like, you know what I mean, like,
Yeah.
and or backs him off a little bit more, because actually I think the exercise in the middle has actually made him think quite a lot.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Really
So
good.
This is why he's running at novice, even though he's a bit like Mr. Tickles, because the moment they get bigger, he's a lot.
But once he's focused in,
Yeah.
he's a lot better, isn't he?
He's a load better, but by the same token, I'm like, he needs to build muscle. We need some technique about the whole situation.
Well, I think that was really good.
I was pleased with that.
And I mean, I wonder whether, if you want to leave it that we can, or we can do a bit more and do a track. What would you like to do?
Let's try a track, so even if it doesn't go as perfectly as that,
Yeah.
just so that I can keep practicing.
So I'd like to do black, pink, red.
Yeah.
Green oxer across the diagonals, change the rein.
Yeah.
Yellow, red, orange. Green oxer coming this way to change the rein.
Yeah.
Then back down your line, skinny, oxer, skinny.
Okay. Good boy.
So black, pink, red, oxer.
Perfect.
Yellow, red, orange, oxer, line.
Yeah, because it's important for me to practice on a track seat. If I do three fences,
it slightly falls apart, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In that, because and don't be afraid to pop in a circle.
Yeah.
Get him back where you want him before you continue. Body up. Good girl. Don't worry about that. Well managed.
good boy.
Oh, balance. Keep the same energy. Woohoo, woohoo. Lower leg underneath you. Outside rein to control that pace. Good boy.
Good boy.
Take your time on the turn. Ooh. Good girl. Well done at the end there. Well managed.
Good boy.
Let's get that canter back.
Oh,
Canter right. Finish it off. Work the neck a little bit. Get him back in his balance, the right balance. Rhythm. 1, 2. Body up. Whoa. Good girl.
boy.
Well done. Whoa. Balance. Take your time. Yeehaw. Steady. Whoa. Good girl. Oh, that's a shame. Let's come around and do that last line once more.
that was because I softened.
Yeah, we need to, yeah, he needs that support still. One, two, three. Whoa. Contact. Good girl, well done.
Good boy.
Balance, that's it, excellent.
So we'll take your
And he really came back to you there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He really did.
So there we go then. That was my first and most recent lesson with Simon Grieve on Donut. Donut is such a gorgeous little legend. I hope you can see a bit of difference. I know we're nowhere near the finished article yet, but I definitely think that you can see progress. We've had 3 lessons total with Simon, so you've just missed the one in between because life's been busy and it takes time and extra people to film the whole lesson, so didn't manage to film that one. But yeah, I hope you've found that quite insightful. It's definitely been useful doing the bit change, and I really like the way that Simon's got me riding Donut now. We're not shutting the power down too much. That makes the jump much smoother because we're allowing him to be powerful, but obviously the aim is to also make sure that he stays soft, which is still a work in progress, but we will get there one day, maybe. But any which way, Donut's joy is 100% infectious. He definitely cheered up a cold, dark, dreary November night. I just love him more than anything, and it's so nice to have him back feeling really strong. He's really starting to muscle up now. It feels like forever. Like I've been trying to get him back to this stage, so it's really delightful to be working on that now with him, and exciting to be looking at the future. So anyway, I hope you found that interesting, maybe useful. Maybe there's some exercises there that you can take home and try, and I will see you very soon.